Got me some Bankster Berry today. Getting myself up. Trying to recover from this flu, get myself back going. But yeah, this is a great new flavor. If you haven't tried it, Bankster Berry. It's kind of raspberry flavor, I think. I don't know, it's pretty good. I like it. I see a couple of you here. Welcome, welcome. I'm on time today. People are like, wait, what? Right? I mean, it's actually 11 o'clock my time and I'm actually on already and I'm not late. So be proud, guys. Be proud. And my kids are like on one today. So if you hear a lot of screaming and yelling in the background, I apologize. I have told them to be quiet like a million times. And apparently they're not capable of that today. So yeah. Hey everybody, come on in. Come on in. Glad to see you here. All right. Let's see. Who is here? Pinky Pink. It's 6 p.m., huh? That's a nice time to sit and have a chat. 6 p.m. I'm usually at the dance studio at 6 p.m., so I can't really do chats 6 p.m. my time, though I would love to, since half the time I'm just sitting there bored out of my mind. But the internet there is really, really terrible, so I couldn't do it even if I wanted to. It's too bad. I can't even watch YouTube videos of the dance studio, you guys. Seriously, that's how bad the internet service is over there. It's the worst. It's the worst to be stuck there for hours and hours and I can't work at all or watch other people's videos or have fun either. So yeah, that's how it is over there. All right, I see we have a few people now. Hey, my lucky number, 22. All right, that's great. So I'm going to start shouting everyone out and then we'll get started talking about our subject for today, and then we can have a chit chat about whatever you want. All right, so hi, Just Keto Jen. Glad you're here. Patty Montero, Dia Jackson, Ella Lifts Bacon. I like that name. Eve, Servant of God. Hello, I like your name too. Rosio Salas. Our Life the Keto Way. Amanda, hello. Tammy Wilson, hi. Let's see. Elaine Bobli. I think that's right. Bobli. Texas, huh? That's awesome. Maria Hemsworth from the UK. Wow. Debbie Lyman. Hilder's Crazy House. Hello. Papita Alliance. Hola. All right. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So I will answer that question first, Amanda. Today is the last day to enter the 10,000 subscriber giveaway contest. I only have 9 entries so far. So you have a high chance of winning if you send me a little video clip. Basically just a video of you saying why you watch my channel. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be mushy. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to say, hi, I'm so-and-so. My channel is this if I have one. And I watch Tammy because, or I watch Keto and the Chaos because I like learning about keto. That's sufficient to enter. So I'm going to be making a little collaboration kind of video, putting them all together and putting it out on Friday. And that will be the announcement of the winner of the box. And then I will send you a box of goodies of my favorite keto things straight from Amazon. So it's not too late to enter. I'm taking entries all the way up to midnight my time tonight. So that gives you about 13 hours to get your video in. Just email it to ketochaos@gmail.com. Send it to me any other way you can think of. I did have someone enter, it was PhD Natural Me entered by just putting it on our YouTube channel. The problem with that is I don't know how to get it off of the YouTube channel, but I'm going to try. If she hasn't emailed it to me, I'm going to try because I want to get her entry in. And I think she just didn't know any other way to send it to me, but I think there's got to be a way because people strip each other's videos all the time. So I'm going to do that tomorrow and figure it out if she hasn't had a chance to email it to me. So there's all the ways you can enter. Thanks for the reminder because I think I would have forgotten to talk about that and I meant to. That's why I made today be the last day so that I could give one last push to get more entries. So yeah, I only have 9 so far. So it's not that hard to win. If you guys are contest people, get me a video. All right. So let's talk about our subject for today, which is Patreon. I just wanted to kind of explain Patreon a little bit because it seems to me from some of the comments that I have been getting that, number one, people don't really understand what Patreon is and what the point of it is. And number two, people think it's ethically wrong to do Patreon or something. So I wanted to clear the air a little bit about why I decided to do it and what it is for and what you can do with it if you want. So I know that probably a lot of you guys have channels and are thinking about doing your own Patreon accounts as well. I mean, it's a very common thing to do here on YouTube, but a lot of people don't really know about it or understand what it is. So first of all, I want to talk about what Patreon is. And basically, Patreon is just an account that you can use to support your favorite creators. Be it YouTube, be it artists. I mean, there's all kinds of artists on Patreon. It's a way to pay artists for what they do, to say, I appreciate you. It's just a donation platform. It's not, what it isn't is like a GoFundMe account or a Poor Me account or feel sorry for me and give me money account. That's not what Patreon is for. Patreon is, like I said, it is a way for people who appreciate artists to show their appreciation. It's not a beggy type thing. It's a gifty type thing. I don't know how else to explain it. I opened my Patreon account last year around this time, actually, right before I got fired from ketogenic dieters, right after. I can't remember exactly when I did it, but I didn't really understand how to use it, and so it just kind of sat there dormant for all this time because I didn't really understand what I was supposed to do with it to get it to be out there in the public eye. Now, when I did the magazine for First for Women magazine, if you guys missed that, I was in January 7th edition. I had a big article written up on me. I worked really hard on it. I spent a lot of time making sure that the article was well written and that it was accurate and that it had my channel name in it, and so people could find me. I had really great publicity and coverage that way. But much to my chagrin, it has not really grown my channel as much as I was hoping. So I decided that I needed to look for other avenues. I know I've talked about this before, that I need to be able to make money other ways. So this is the why. Why Patreon? Patreon is just an easy way for people to donate money that want to. I wasn't even going to get around to it for a really long time, except for Terry Deshawn came on and pushed me into doing it because she wanted to donate. And I thought, well, I guess I'll figure it out so that Terry can donate if she wants to, because if she really wants to help me. And so I'm going to let her. So I went and found that it was really easy. I just published my page and gave it the link to her. She's been trying to get people to join and donate money toward the cause. So what is the cause? The cause is this channel. Because as much as I love this channel and I love being able to help people, it does take a lot of my time. I spend at least 20 hours a week on this channel alone, not counting my other channel. That's beside the point. At least 20 hours a week planning videos, filming videos, editing videos, putting videos up, making thumbnails, etc., etc. Trying to keep the content fresh and unique and still provide consistency. And I think about it a lot, and I really want it to be a benefit to all the people who watch it, every single one of you. But it has now become a part-time job. Now, if I were at McDonald's working for $9 an hour, I could be making $180, $200 a week doing flipping burgers. And I'm only making that about a month doing this. So I need it to be more financially beneficial to my family in order to justify the time away from my kids. I mean, even right now, I should be homeschooling my kids, and instead I'm chatting with you guys every Tuesday. They understand that, and they usually do continue on and work and do their things sometimes. But, you know, I'm saying I'm taking time away from my family, and I'm not being paid. Now, that's great. I mean, at first it was I never thought that it was going to grow, and I didn't think it was going to become a job. I thought it was just a fun little hobby, but really it has taken over my life. It's eliminated me being able to do photography, which is how I used to help support my family. I don't have time to do it anymore because there's no time to edit photos. So that is the why. It's just another way for me to offer a way for people to donate to the support of the channel so that the channel continues. Because I will tell you this, like, as rewarding it is to help people and have people say, thank you for helping me, thank you for changing my life, it doesn't put food on the table and doesn't put my kid in dance lessons. And I have to be realistic about that. And it is now to the point where I feel like it should be making me some sort of financial contribution to our family. Otherwise, it's just, you know, it's another time suck, artsy thing that I don't have time to do, that I have to eliminate from my life. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So all Patreon is a donation platform. You go in there, you choose how much you want to donate per month. It takes it out on the first of the month every month. You can cancel at any time. There's no obligation. It's not a big deal. And people got really angry, I guess, when I posted that I had posted a Patreon video. People were like, oh, I feel like I'm not wanted. You know, I'm not special like everybody else that's on Patreon. Well, guess what, guys? There's only 4 Patreons. There are only 4 of them that got to see that video one day ahead of time. And it's only one day. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the bonus videos that aren't the core videos of my channel, anything that is like special that I normally don't do, and I'm releasing it 24 hours early for the Patreons. That's it. That's it. You still get to see it the next day. And if I didn't say anything, you would never know. So I don't know why people got confused about that. I mean, maybe they thought I was just going to give videos only for Patreons, and I don't intend to do that at this time, though I reserve the right to do that in the future if I choose, because I feel like if these people are going to take the time to donate, that they deserve to get something for what they're paying for. Does that make sense? Because you guys are getting all of this for free, and it doesn't cost you anything other than, you know, if you want to ad click for me, whatever. But like, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't cost you guys anything to watch the video, and you guys don't pay me a monthly stipend. Whereas if the Patreon people pay me, I feel like they should get something for that. I don't want it to just be like a handout all the time. I feel like they should get something for that. Will I develop that more in the future? Yes. I probably will offer more incentives for Patreon, but right now, on the ground floor, I have nothing. I don't even have any tiers. You can choose to donate $1 or up to $60 a month. It doesn't matter. And all of the ones that join right now will probably end up getting grandfathered in to a tier higher than what they offer because of them being my original supporters. So you don't have to do it. I don't know why people are getting so like frustrated. I had someone basically like come on and say that it was just like, no. And I was like, okay, well, that's like, that kind of hurts my feelings a lot. Like, you're basically saying, I like you, and I like your content, and I like your Facebook page, and I like everything that you have to offer, except it's not worth any money because you basically, it's not good enough to be paid for. And I'm just like, well, that's bullcrap. Let's just say that didn't make me feel that great. Let's just say I felt like, well, fine, I guess I won't make any videos then. If it's not worth paying for, then I guess, why am I doing it then? Like, what's the point? I got really upset. Like, I was pretty mad about it, actually. And Dave told me I should, you know, like, not be mad, and it's just one person, and that everybody doesn't feel that way. But I'm sure there's a lot more people that feel that way about Patreon. They're like, well, we support this and this and this, but when it comes to Patreon, that's just wrong. And I'm like, how? How is that wrong? It's really not. It's really fine. And it's really common on YouTube because you can't really make enough money off of ads. I would need 8,000 views of each video to make enough money to pay for my kids' dance lessons at one studio. Right there. So that's not happening. That didn't happen. I was hoping the magazine would like Make it happen. But it didn't happen. And I am super excited about being almost to 10K. That's awesome. But I'm still only getting 1,000 to 2,000 views per video. And I need to like quadruple that or find another way to earn money. I don't want to charge for the service. I don't want to charge for the information because, first of all, number one, the information, as you guys well know, is not mine. So I don't feel right about charging for it. It's Dr. Finney's. He charges for it. He charges $349 a month for his information. Me, I'm not charging for that because, number one, like I said, not mine. Number two, because I just don't feel like, I feel like it should be free access. I feel like everyone has the right to lose weight and everyone has the right to the information that I got for free and used and was able to successfully lose the weight. I mean, come on. Like, who doesn't deserve that? Everyone deserves that. So I don't want to charge for that. I thought about charging for coaching, but I just don't feel qualified to do that actively. Now, if someone was like to approach me and say, I would like to pay you a certain amount a month and you be my personal coach and I just mentioned, I could ask you questions personally all the time, that's different. I have done that. But when it comes to like putting out a website and it says, I'm a keto coach, I'm not really ready for that yet. Though I can't say I won't do that in the future. But I'm not ready for that right now. So there are ways to support this channel financially, and I don't think that it's wrong to ask. And if you guys think that it's wrong to ask, well, then you guys can like go take a hike. That's kind of how I feel about it because I'm like giving you guys free stuff and I don't feel like it's bad to ask for help in return or to be financially compensated in some way for the time that I spend here. And if you guys don't agree, well, good luck to you. I mean, I was pretty mad. Like, I was like, I am going to block her from my channel and I am going to block her from my Facebook group and I am never answering another question she asked me ever again. Like, I was that angry about it. So if you're watching, you know who you are. Now you know how I feel. All right, that's the end of that. So what is Patreon? It's a way to donate money to this channel so that it keeps going. Why? Because I need money. End of story right there. And I'm going to be announcing it on a lot of my videos and I'm going to be talking about it a lot. And I am going to put out Patreon content and it's okay. And you guys are all going to live through it and no one's going to die. No one's going to have lack of content. No one needs to panic. You guys will have plenty of content. I promise. I'm not going to all of a sudden go lockdown mode and say only people who pay get to see this video. That's not going to happen. So, all right. Now we'll move on to some happy things. And what do you guys want to chat about? What do you want to chat about? Oh, holidays. Eve says she's having trouble getting back on keto since the holidays. Yep. That's the number one reason why I don't do carbs in the holidays, guys. Don't do carbs in the holidays. Because it's really, really hard. Like, if you guys choose to go off plan, you got to have a plan for getting back on plan. And I know myself. And I know I can't do that. I'd be in the same situation. It'd be months and months before I got to the point, maybe years before I got to the point where I could get back on. Because it's really, really hard. The carb toddler, like Keto Christina talks about, the carb toddler is real. It will scream at you and beg you. And I'll tell you what, even though I haven't had any carbs, the carb toddler and the fat toddler was screaming at me all week last week when I had the flu. I'll tell you what, I felt like I was fighting an internal battle all week, trying not to eat too much food. So yeah, it is always going to be a battle. And that's the thing, you know, you're never cured. If you're a food addict, you're never going to be cured. It's just like if you were addicted to any substance, for the rest of your life, you're going to fight the battle. And honestly, if you're still fighting, then you're on the way. If you're not fighting and you're just giving in, I mean, the fact that you're here talking to me, that's fighting. You're fighting. So just keep trying to win every battle. Put every meal one at a time in front of you and just say, okay, for this meal, I am going all keto. I am not eating a carb. For this next meal, I'm going to not eat a carb. And you just keep moving forward. And if you choose to eat a carb, then you just start again with the next meal. The goal is to keep fighting. You can't give up. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I am still sick, so I'm getting there. But yeah. Just keep fighting is my point. Like, keep putting one foot in front of the other. keep trying to get back on the path, because those who give up and go off the path are the ones who end up like me, 374 pounds and almost dying. You don't want that. You don't want to have to get to that dark place before you can get yourself back on track. You need to keep steering yourself back to the path. Keep going back. And that's why I don't do it, because I know me and I know that I will screw it up. And I am just being honest with myself that I just cannot ever eat it again, ever. And if I do, it's going to be bad. So in the holidays, I just try and eat as much keto fun stuff that I can. There's lots of keto fun stuff. And try and stick to that for all the parties and all the holidays all the year. It's the safest way to be. But hang in there, hun. Hang in there. The struggle is real, right, guys? Why does it have to be so hard? Like, I know. I have friends who never have to think about it. And sometimes I wonder, like, well, like my own daughter, like, she's just built differently. And why she doesn't have to think about it, but I have to think about it 24 hours a day, all day long, every meal, every minute. I'm thinking about the fight and trying to win the fight. And I'll probably be trying to win the fight till the day I die. And that's just my lot in life, I guess. I mean, there's worse things, though. There's worse things. I'm not gonna say that I wish my life was different, because if it was different, then I wouldn't have you guys. Right? So I'm grateful for my experiences and for my fight, for being able to have this platform and be able to teach people and help people, because I think there's nothing more rewarding than being able to literally save someone's life. Like, it's crazy. I mean, finding this information saved my life, and I'm in turn saving a whole bunch of other people's lives, and that's amazing. All right, I see a super chat, so now I need to find it so that I can talk. Oh, you didn't ask me a question, Gloria. Gloria's my super chat girl. She loves to come on here and donate money to the cause here, and that is an option, and I appreciate every bit of it. Like, she's keeping me in my bank supply. I used my she's always donating to my caffeine fund, because she knows how expensive it is. It is expensive, but I need it to survive most days, because 9 kids, it'll kill you almost, especially if you have the flu. I'll tell you, it is not fun to have the flu and have a big family and just watch them all falling apart while you just lay in your bed and can't even leave the room, and no one can come in because you don't want them to get sick. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's insane. It is really, really insane. All right. Let's see. Anybody else have a question? Ella Lives Bacon says she always thinks it says patron. Well, patron is accurate, because Patreon is a place for patrons of the channel, basically. It's probably why they came up with that name. I'm not sure. Keto Cricket says highfalutin low carb, which, by the way, he's a friend of mine now. Sort of. We know each other. Isn't that weird? He calls it a tip jar for the internet. Yes, and so is the super chat here. So, like, when you see Gloria putting up a super chat, that's a tip. It's basically saying, I love your channel. I want to show you how much I support you. Here's a donation to your channel. And it takes a long time to get the money. I don't get it right away from either thing, just so you guys know. It's not a right away kind of deal, but I appreciate it so much. All right. Do I get the whole donation at Patreon? Nope. And I also don't get the whole donation here. The difference between here and Patreon shows me how much they charge, and YouTube does not. YouTube is kind of weird. There's no set and fast rule for how much you get paid per ad. There's no set and fast rule for how much you get of the donations. It's all mushed together, so you can't really tell. And they can change it on a whim whenever they want. So you could literally be making thousands a month and they could change one thing and it could drop your amount of money that you make in half. And you have no control and there's no recourse. It's kind of like Facebook where there's like nobody you can actually ask for anything. It's just a thing you just live with. So it's not 100% guaranteed either on YouTube. So either way, they're taking their cut because I mean they're a business and that's what they're here for. Even YouTube takes half your ad revenue as well. Half, 50%. So whatever you're making, they're making double that. They're taking that other half. So, gotta love it. Stitcher pays out much faster and subscribers all have to pay. Interesting. I haven't looked at that. I don't know what it is. If YouTube paid their creators, you wouldn't have to go anywhere else. True. That's true. AdSense pays, but YouTube itself does not. Karen, you're sweet. She's like, there's nothing wrong with Patreon. I'm just broke right now. That's okay. That's okay. No worries. No worries. I'm not expecting all of you guys to donate to Patreon. I'm just saying, don't get mad at me for saying I have one. Does that make sense? Like, people are so, like, offended that I am giving something to somebody because they paid me. I'm like, but they paid me. I don't know. Like, anyway. Auntie M says, your information has changed my life. You've encouraged me to press on. I really want to give back to you and plan to do just that. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. Let's see. I am looking better. Yay. I put on my pink shirt today. You know how much I love my pink shirts. Love my pink shirts. I've been wearing a lot of purple and red in the winter because I feel like it still has that vibe. And plus a lot of my sweaters are that color and I'm freezing to death. Like freezing to death. You guys, freezing. And while I had the flu, the freaking weather, like when everybody else was freezing and it was like minus 43 in the Midwest, it was 50 degrees here and I couldn't go outside. Right? And so I decided I am celebrating spring and summer by putting on a spring. It's very thin. It's a very thin shirt. I have to have two, but you can see it's see-through. Very thin shirt, but I wanted my pink on because pink makes me look alive. I hope I look alive. I feel alive. So I survived the flu. It actually didn't get that bad. Jasper was pretty worse off. Yesterday I was worried that he might be coming down with pneumonia because he was kind of pulling in, constricting a bit in his neck from breathing, but he's cleared up today and there's no fever. So I'm checking everybody like crazy, you know, because I'm looking for fevers. I've got this. I bought this really, like, I used my medical card to my medical account to buy a $70 forehead thing, a temperature taker, so that I could constantly check everybody's temperatures because, you know, I have 9 children and we are out at dance. We have all these things where we're like exposing others to our germs. So I can't afford, when only 3 of us got it, I'm so worried that everyone else is going to get it. So I'm walking around checking everybody's temperatures. So everybody is between, you know, 97.8 to 99 point whatever. Oliver actually had a fever. I'm kind of still keeping an eye on Oliver. I didn't let him go to dance yesterday. I'm going to check him again today. He's my 16-year-old. He had 101 fever yesterday. So that was that range for the fevers yesterday. Well, for the temperatures. Guess what mine was, you guys? 96.1. Full degree and a half lower than everybody else. No wonder I'm so cold. I literally am colder than everyone else. Like freezing. What is that? I'm just like praying. I'm like, how many years at this weight is it going to take before my body figures out that I live in Utah and I need to like be warm? Because it's cold here. It's really cold. And even yesterday I went outside. It was 46 degrees. That was warm, but I was still cold. I'm still at the dance studio with a blanket up to my neck. Everybody just looks at me funny when they walk in. They're like, oh, you're still cold. I'm like, yeah, still cold. Crazy. And I don't know. I survived the flu, but I was freezing the whole time. And I kept telling Dave, I don't think the heater's working, but I can't tell because I don't know if it's my fever or if it's the heater's on the fritz. So he actually like went down and checked the heater thing, and he's like, I don't think that the heater is running as often as it needs to. I think that there's something wrong with the temperature gauge maybe. And so, but then eventually the temperature started dropping on the temperature gauge. And so it was set at 72, but it was like at 69. And he's like, okay, that's weird. So he went ahead and replaced the thermostat, and it didn't fix it. I'm still like breathing icy air, and I'm like, okay, something's wrong. I'm like, I feel icy air going in my throat, in my lung. I know it's not the sickness. And so he finally went downstairs and figured out there was something wrong with the heater, and he had to fix the heating coil of something. I don't know, but the heater is now working. Thank the Lord. What a weird week for the heater to go on the fritz. In fact, I think the heater's been on the fritz for a while because I keep complaining about being cold and everybody thinks I'm crazy. And now I'm thinking the heater hasn't been working all winter. That's what I think. But yeah, anyway. All right, let's see. Okay, Amanda says, I'm glad you don't take sponsorships from companies and push them in every video. I reserve the right to take sponsorships. I want to take sponsorships. The problem is that so far I have not agreed with the companies that have approached me for sponsorships. So I am very picky about what I will sponsor. You know that I talk about my products that I use all the time on a daily basis. I would love for Phage or Faye Yogurt to sponsor me. Are you kidding? I would totally take them up on that. But they haven't asked me. The only people that have asked me, number one was a weight loss app. I'm trying not to roll my eyes. That was $99 a month. I'm not kidding. Had nutritionists. They knew Dr. Finney, and they were basically basing like their app off of his app. But they didn't have any science behind them. They didn't really have a good keto guideline, whatever. I don't know. I basically told them I would be willing to give an honest review, but they turned me down because it's not what they wanted. They wanted me to advertise their app and say I lost weight doing it, and I wasn't going to do that. Also, ones that have asked me are creamers, and I don't advocate drinking fats on my channel because I feel like that's a waste of calories. So if I'm going to use a creamer, it has to be low enough in fat. It has to be lower or at the same as heavy whipping cream. And it has to have some other nutritional value of some kind. And it has to taste really, really good. None of them are willing to like give me that information. Every time I ask them, I need more information, they just disappear. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And several like bar companies have asked me, but their macros don't match what I want. What I really should do is like come up with my own product, but I'm so never doing that. That's never happening. So I do reserve the right that in the future, someday I may advertise for a company if I support them and if I like their product. Does that make sense? But as of now, so far, no one is good enough. All right. Oh, now, Gloria, now you asked me a question. I see. Okay. Fasting seems to be a hot topic. What's your point of view on it and why or why not? Okay. I do intermittent fasting, not necessarily for the health benefits or the weight loss benefits. I do intermittent fasting because it's convenient for my life. In the mornings, I'm homeschooling, getting the kids fed, and I don't really have time to eat until well after noon. Then I have my first meal, and then we finish up our chores and whatever else that we're doing, head out to dance, and I'm at dance for the whole rest of the night. Don't get back until 8 or 9 p.m., and I prefer to eat at home and not have to get fast food, so I usually don't eat until I get home. So that's why my fasting window is what it is because of convenience sake. It just so happens to also be intermittent fasting. It just so happens to also benefit me, but I don't do it for the benefits per se. I'm fine with OMAD. But OMAD makes me nervous because I feel like you need, like Dr. Finney says, you need a certain amount of protein. And when I have done OMAD in the past, I used to do OMAD every Thursday because I was so busy on Thursday and I didn't want to have to eat out. And so I'd bring all my food and eat it all at one meal at my Commonwealth school during the day. And that worked for a while, but I found that it was really, really hard to get all of that protein in one setting without drinking some of it, which meant less satisfaction and, I don't know, not the best protein source. So I stopped doing that and just started eating fast food for my second meal on Thursdays. Sometimes I bring it. Anyway, I don't recommend fasting past 24 hours. The reason why, number one reason why, is because Dr. Finney at Low Carb Down Under did a speech and he talked about it, and he's basically said that there's been proof in his science that he's done. I don't know where the proof is. I haven't looked it up. He just said there's proof that long-term fasting can affect metabolism permanently, that it can cause your metabolism to slow down for a permanent thing. And he's like, there are a lot of benefits to autophagy, and fasting is good for all of these things or whatever. He's like, but the risk to your metabolism does not outweigh it, and he doesn't recommend it. So that's how I feel about it. I know there's a lot of people that support Dr. Fung, but I know that a lot of people that support the way I do keto say Dr. Fung is a quack. I don't know anything about him. I can't really speak to his science or anything because I haven't really researched it. So I guess my opinion is based on Dr. Finney said it can hurt your metabolism, so I don't do it. But that doesn't mean that it's necessarily 100% true, and it's just how I feel about it. So, and I haven't really needed it. I haven't needed to fast. And fasting also, like, extended fasting reminds me of the days I did isogenics where I was forced into a stupid fasting cleanse every 2 weeks, drinking, I kid you not, this stupid drink that was full of carbs. So hangry does not even begin to describe the misery of doing that. That was horrible. Isogenics is the biggest quack company that ever lived. It's terrible. Terrible. I'm not going to go into that. I did do that for a while, and it was miserable, and I'm never doing that again. And so, like, when I start to fast for long periods of time, it reminds me of those days, and I start to feel really, really mean. And I don't want to be a mean person. I like being nice, and I can be mean when I need to be, but I don't really like being mean to my kids, like, on a daily basis because I'm hangry. That sucks. And that's how I feel when I'm doing it. I also tried PSMF, protein sparing modified fast, which is kind of fasting from carbs and fats, and almost killed my kids then too. So I'm never doing that again either. Well, never say never, but probably never doing that again because I prefer to be nice. And if that means my weight loss is slower, darn. Yeah. Oh, you guys, I didn't get to tell you. And now there's 62 of you here, a few extra people. So I'm going to tell you right now. Yesterday, I got on the scale and it said 179.7. Woo! 179.7 yesterday. 1 day late for the weigh-in. I was like, really? That's irritating. And then today it was back up to 180. But still, I mean, I saw the 170s on the scale. And yesterday I was like laying on the bed with Dave. And we were just kind of chatting a little bit. And I was like, how is this my life? Oh my gosh. How am I in the 170s? And he like starts grabbing me and tickling me and stuff. And I'm like, okay, it's not that exciting. Leave me alone. I was teasing him, but yeah. We were both very excited. He was very excited for me. And I'm just like, how is this even real? Ugh, 170s. Like, I can't even. I had to be in 10th grade the last time I was 170 something. Because I was 150 something when I started 10th grade. And by the time I graduated from high school, I was 200 something, 210-ish. So somewhere in there, I hit in the 170s. And I just cannot even believe it. Yeah. I mean, granted, it's back up today to 180. So, like, well, I mean, it's basically the same, but it's up a few ounces. Anyway, I'm excited. And I thought you guys would be excited for me. But like 6 people left when I announced that. So maybe they're not. I won't take offense. That's hilarious to me. All right. I got another super chat from Charlotte Sade. She is a local to me. She says, I'm only 10 pounds from goal. I'm wondering about starting pre-maintenance, but worried I'll gain it back. Your thoughts? You probably will not. Through most of the summer, I ate maintenance calories and still lost weight. And through all of the fall, from November to December. So in November and December, I ate maintenance calories. Basically, I didn't track. I ate my protein because I know how much protein I needed each meal in order to meet my protein. Also, to keep my carbs under 20. And then I ate fat to satiety, which meant that I was eating keto cakes. You guys saw me eating keto cakes and heavy whipping cream. And I added those things that I really like into my diet on a daily basis. I don't feel like I binge ate, except the week of the holidays I did. And I think I may have put on a little bit of fat during that time, but I'm not sure because it could have also been water weight because I ate so many keto snacks. I think I could have kicked myself out of ketosis. Still not 100% sure on that. I did put on quite a bit of weight like on the scale, but I don't know how much of it was water weight. I still lost 2 pounds every 4 weeks, eating basically as much fat as I could stand on a daily basis. So I really don't think that you'll gain, but if you're worried about that, then you should track it. So what you need to do is you need to look at your basal metabolic rate. So if you go into Chronometer and you have your weight set in there and your height and everything, it'll tell you how much calories you burn just sitting still, okay? That is your number that you want to hit with your fat calories for maintenance. So basically you keep your protein the same and your carbs the same, and then you raise your fats number until it meets exactly or slightly exceeds that caloric number, and that becomes your new fat macro. And in order to not lose, you want to hit that fat macro. Instead of keeping it low like we do for fat loss, you want to keep it higher so that you don't lose when you're not ready to lose. Does that make sense? So once you get that number set, which is fairly easy because all you do is you figure out how many calories you're eating at a deficit. So it should tell you, like on my chart, so if you're going by my chart, which I think you are, Charlotte, if you go on my chart, it tells you how many calories you're eating if you eat those macros perfectly. And then you just see how many is the difference between that and your basal metabolic rate. Divide that by 9 because there are 9 calories per fat gram, and add those grams to your fat grams and change it in Chronometer as your new goal. And that's how you track your maintenance calories. So if you're nervous, you make sure you track it so you know what you're hitting. That way you can adjust it. So if you seem to be going up on the scale and you feel like your midsection is growing, you can rein it back down 10 grams and go from there. And you just, I think when I get to maintenance, it's going to be a great crapshoot. I really don't think there's like a magical way to do it perfectly. I really feel like you can mess with your carb number a bit if you want to check your ketones all the time and see how high you can go. That's a little bit more on the risky side, but if you want to not have to eat quite as much fat, it might be worth the balance. I don't know. I'm not there yet. I'm planning on not getting there. I'm planning on being really slow with my weight loss this year. So I'm doing this big push at the beginning of the year, and then I'm taking a maintenance break where I'm just going to eat lazy keto all the way through from March to June, most likely. Then I'll do another push in June. Then I'll take time off. Then I'll do another push in October. Then I'll take time off. I did that last year and still lost 61 pounds. Just like, whoa, that's like crazy to me. So yeah, anyway, that is, I don't know about maintenance yet. I haven't had to do it, but that is how you do it if you want to track it and make sure you keep yourself accountable. So I would be curious to know how it works out for you. We haven't had very many people actually hitting goal. I do have my 2 moderators who have, and so if you want to ask them on the Facebook page, Michelle Pottle and Karen Marie both have hit their goal and can give you more advice. And I think that I think that Karen did talk to you about that on Facebook, if I remember correctly. But yeah, don't panic over it. Keep yourself tracking, and then you can be calm about it so that you won't worry about it. You won't gain it back unless you're pounding the keto cakes every day, which I know you can get access to. So one at a time, not go too crazy. Yeah. And, you know, you might find that eating the higher fat isn't work for you. I know Karen had really struggled with it, and she said it made her hungrier and hungrier. She ended up raising her protein, actually, I think, to try and get some of those calories in. She had to really play with it till she found her sweet spot. And I think that's just kind of and it'll probably take a while to figure it out, and it may change over time. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that's cute. You and I says, yes, the food struggle is real, but the health struggles were real too. And what did we get for struggling? We got sicker. With the keto struggle, we get better health and smaller bodies. True. Absolutely. Karen Rothwell says, and as smaller boobies. Yep. Smaller, saggier boobies. Oh my gosh, right? Oh my gosh. Trisha, thank you for the super chat. Do you have a question for me? Thank you. Oh man, we got us a funzie. Sorry. I gotta love this guy. He's hilarious. For some reason, like some days it lets me like kick people out of my chat with my finger, but today not, and last time it wouldn't either, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong with that. Like, ooh, that didn't help. Scared you. Woo, sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I gotta I can't fix it. Oh, you guys, live. I cannot fix it now. What is it still? It just wants to be close up now. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I am dying now. I'm not even embarrassed, but I'm totally laughing. Yeah, I could block people, but I can't apparently figure it out. Sorry. Just ignore them. All right. 1987. If you have questions, ask them. Yeah, thank you for being excited for me being in the 170s, guys. You're awesome. All right. Sorry, making sure I didn't miss any questions. Thank you, Karen. You're the best. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So they're already out, and that's why I couldn't block them. Okay. Good. That's awesome. All right. What else do you guys want to talk about? We still have 10 minutes. You guys are dying with me. I really want to fix it now, and but I'm super afraid to mess with it because see, every time I touch it, it just does that. Ooh. Sorry. I just leave it alone. Now you guys can see the pores in my skin. Because that's what you really wanted. We're having fun today. It's a party. Oh my gosh. Okay. What can we talk about? I'm going to sit back here now. What can we talk about, guys? Except for I can't reach now. That's hard. If you guys don't ask me anything, I'm going to have to just be done. And then that will be like, we have usually going like 2 hours. What's the deal? Like nobody wants to talk today. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Pink is my color. Pink is my color. And some people really don't like pink and they can't wear it, but me, it makes me look alive. And I wear it as much as I possibly can. And okay, I have to tell you, I bought this shirt. I don't know if you can't see probably. See, it fits pretty good. It's not super tight. I bought it actually last year at this time of year. And it was so tight. It was like, it squoze the crap out of my arms and it felt very uncomfortable to wear it. And I haven't worn it in like a while. And so yesterday I was digging through my closet trying to find something bright. And yes, I did wear this yesterday. 2 days in a row. Be proud, guys. I do that. And I was looking for something fun to wear, and I thought, oh, that pink shirt, I'm going to try that. And it's like, I wish I could show you. Like, it's not like a bag, but it's definitely not tight. It's super perfectly comfortable, and I think it's my new favorite shirt now. And I have to say that my waistline is way smaller than it was last week. And like my stomach rolls are feeling more like empty, like less full. I don't know how else to describe it. When I look in the mirror, I know I lost weight this week because I can see it. Like I have times like that where I wonder, but it's like, I know. This time I know. And so when I saw that 179, I was like, yep, I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was close. I could feel it. I knew I lost at least a pound of fat out of my belly. All right, now you ask me questions. All right, let's see. Okay. Do I have any favorite new recipes? I know I've been trying some for the magazine. I haven't really loved anything from the magazine in particular. I mean, the pork chops were okay. The mushrooms were good. I mean, like, they're just so complicated for me. It's just not something that's feasible on a daily basis. I have to say, though, that my new favorite is the one I posted in my last What to Eat Wednesday. Not the keto mug cake, which I was like, whatever, that wasn't awesome. It was okay. It was the chicken that Dave came up with, and it didn't really show well how he, like, filleted out the chicken because it was, I don't know, the knife wasn't working. It wasn't great video footage. I still can't figure out how he did it. He like cut it one way and then he cut it another way and then he folded it out flat so it's really, really thin, a chicken breast. And then he just lays a piece of Applegate Naturals, 1 ounce of it on the top of the chicken and Swiss cheese, and then rolls it up and then just dumps Parmesan cheese on top and then bakes it in the oven, 400 degrees for like, I think it was about 30 minutes. We just tested I started at 20 minutes testing the temperature of the meat until it hits to 165. I think that's my new favorite. Like, it was really, really good. It's kind of got a crispy coating on the outside. It's not as overcooked as sometimes it is when we do the quick chop and throw in the pan chicken like I do almost every day. Well, he does almost every day when he cooks it for me. So that's my new favorite recipe, but it's something Dave has to do because I can't really fillet out the chicken breast like that. I don't know. I mean, you have to have a good knife and kind of know what you're doing, I think, to get it to really lay flat like that. I don't know. I don't know how he does it, but I love that he does it for me. Oh, and you guys, the other day he made it for me. So, it takes like 30 minutes to make. So it's one of the longer meals. He made it for me and I started eating it and I was like, oh, honey, I think the ham has gone bad. He felt so bad. He had to make it all over again with a new package of ham. I felt really, really bad. I was even going to eat it. Like, I was going to try eating it and make myself eat it, but I couldn't. I didn't want to hurt him, like, say I didn't like it. Oh my gosh. What's my favorite flavor of Bang? Oh my gosh, that is a hard question. It used to be cotton candy, but now I think right now my very favorite is cherry blade lemonade. I just really love that sweet and tangy combo. It's really, really good. If I have a bunch in the fridge to choose from, I generally will reach for that one first. And sour heads. I really like the sour ones. I have tried the new Rock Stars that are like a Bang knockoff. They're not so bad. The cotton candy is way too sweet with not enough sour notes. But the apple one, they have like a sour apple, is pretty decent. And it's 50 cents cheaper than Bang for the same exact drink, basically, which is nice. So, yeah. And this one is actually not bad. Bankster Berry. This one's a new flavor that we just have noticed recently. And it's like raspberry flavor, which is really different than like most drink companies. So it's kind of a fun flavor because it's different. Yeah, it's kind of raspberry. I don't know. I like it. But I wouldn't call it my new favorite. So I think my favorite right now, Cherry Blade Lemonade. How long have I been dancing? Do I think it helps my weight loss? That is a very good question. I began clogging, so the tap dancing kind of thing that I do, in 2017 in September. I told everyone at the dance studio that I was going to lose 100 pounds by September when I started in January and I was going to clog, because I had done it a few years before when I had lost the weight. Previously, I've talked about that before, how I lost the weight and gained it back. In fact, my next Tammy's Tidbits has a huge, like, long segment of me detailing that in detail. So if you're curious about that, that's coming out very soon. Does it help? No. I hate to break it to you guys, but exercise is really not going to help. Does it burn a few more extra calories? Maybe, sure. Is it enough to really make that much of a difference when it comes to weight loss? No, not really. If you're already in ketosis and you're already burning calories off your body, then yeah, it can help because it gives you a little bit more of a deficit. But if you are just eating a standard American diet, you can work out your butt literally forever and never burn enough calories to make any difference. It just doesn't seem to do enough good. It takes so long to burn 100 calories, and it takes 5 seconds to eat 100 calories. Less than 5 seconds. One bite. So when it comes to weight loss, I don't think exercise really helps. I think exercise helps the psyche. You know, I started doing it because I was like, I told everybody. I mean, you guys, I was big. I couldn't walk when I'm telling people this. So the looks on their faces when I'm like, I'm going to lose 100 pounds and do clogging this year, people are like, okay, that's so great. You do that. But you could see the look on their face like, yeah, right, lady. That's never happening. And when I did it a full month early, the shock on people's faces was priceless. I hit 100 pounds lost in 8 months. I hit it in August, and that's when I started my channel. I started clogging a month later. Actually, it was really, really close to that same time is when I started clogging. I think it might have been the same month because I think clogging started mid-August that year. So yeah, I went ahead and joined it. I clogged all through last year. I performed in the Christmas recital last year. I performed in the regular recital at the end of the year. Feeling pretty awesome. Kept on going this year, just performing the Christmas recital and fell on my butt. That was fun. Actually, it was more my hip and shoulder that I fell on the slippery floor. Got right back up. Thank goodness for losing the weight, because if I hadn't, I don't think I could have gotten back up. And I started ballet in September. So in the summer, I kind of was joking with the ballet teacher about how I wish I could take ballet. And she was just kind of like, well, why don't you just join your daughter's class, the technique class on Wednesdays? And I was like, really? I could do that? And she goes, yeah, come on in. You can wear whatever you want. I'd be happy to have you. So I was like, at first I was like, yeah, no way. That's never happening. But then I just kind of got a why not vibe in my brain. I'm like, why not? Why couldn't I do it? And so I decided to try it. And do I love it? I actually don't. I actually really don't like it. I like the bar work where we're doing like the exercises to strengthen muscles. But when it comes to the actual dancing part of it, I totally hate it because I look awful and I cannot, my older brain has a hard time keeping track of all the little things that I have to do to be able to do the jumps and across the floors and like basic stuff that the little kids learned when they were like 5 and like how to spot and what positions are what and to keep your feet pointed and all of these things that you have to think about. I'm in the intermediate class, and so they don't really go over that as much. So I feel a lot out of my element. And honestly, if it wasn't for my daughter, I think I would have quit. But she really, really loves having me in her class. And she has made it quite clear that she really loves it. So I don't quit because of her, because I love her and I want to set a good example for her. She loves that I am in there, and it's worth it just for that. So does it help with my weight loss? No, but does it help with everything else? Yeah. It helps me do hard things that I didn't think I could do, and it helps set a good example for my daughter on how to be healthy and to not have to be at my perfect goal weight to do things that I thought I would never do. So there you go. That's why I do it. And I don't really do it for weight loss. I do it for so many other things. I think it might actually be helping tone my muscles. I noticed in the mirror this morning that I actually can see my freaking back muscles. We've been doing these exercises, lots of them in class, strengthening the shoulder blade muscles right behind, underneath the neck. And I actually caught a glimpse of my back and went, holy crap, you can see my muscles. Like, I am so thin. I don't know if you can see it right here because my lighting is really flat. It's too hard to see, but like all across here, I can see all of my bones in the mirror now. Like it's, I wish maybe I could turn my little light off and it would show it better. Let's see. This side light. No, it's still too flat. Oh well, I tried. But yeah, you can see all of them now and I could see my back muscles. So it might actually be toning me up a bit. I didn't think it really was, but wow. I was like, and I've been doing push-ups. Now, people will say, you know, like to tone up your arms to get rid of loose skin. I don't buy it. You can't really get rid of loose skin doing that. You can fill it up so it doesn't look as bad, but I have so much. I'd have to have giant arms to fill it back up, but I don't want giant arms. So I live with the loose skin. I think over time it's going to improve. I think keto itself helps with skin. And I think fasting can help to a point, but I don't recommend doing it super long term. I do a lot of exfoliating, trying to get my skin to calm down. I don't know if it helps or not, but it seems to be helping to a degree. So I'm just happy to have it. I'm happy that I've lost so much weight that my arms are that thin because they're like 11 inches when I wrap the thing around. 11 inches. That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Even with all the extra skin. All right. Jennifer Costa says she needs to go back to and watch the beginning. Sorry, she missed the start. Yeah, if you want to know about Patreon, go back to the beginning and watch it. I'm not going to go on that whole rant again. But yeah, Patreon is, I like that Keto Cricket said, Patreon is just a tip jar for the internet. And it's just a way to show your appreciation. And my releasing the videos a day early for the people in Patreon is my way of saying thank you. That's pretty much it. All right, Daya Jackson. I'm restarting and keto flu is hard. What numbers to hit again for your electrolytes? Okay, so sodium, minimum 5,000 milligrams. Not of the actual salt, but of actual sodium. That's like a tablespoon of salt of actual weight in grams. So keep that in mind. It's a lot of sodium. That's why I do my Soleil water. I don't have any in here right now because I just drank the last bit right before we started. But I keep it in here. There's lots of videos on that. If you want to check my channel out or anywhere else, search Soleil water. It's S-O-L-E, like soul water. That's how I get my sodium. So 5,000 milligrams sodium. Magnesium, you want 300 milligrams minimum. I personally take 675. Is that right? I take about 700 milligrams for me personally. But 300 minimum is the recommendation. You want to avoid oxide and avoid citrate. Oxide because it's not really highly absorbable. It's only 4% absorbable, so you have to take a lot more of it. And citrate because it can damage cell reproduction or whatever. I don't know. Something about the cells. But citrate is good if you are having constipation for a short-term relief of that. And then potassium, if you're doing the high sodium, you want your potassium to be from foods or like light salt. And you want to hit 1,000 to 3,500 milligrams of potassium per day from foods. So that's what you need to do. If you're just restarting and you're miserable, you might just be having carb withdrawal and it might be the carb toddler screaming at you. So push through, keep that sodium up, and you should be feeling better really, really quickly. All right. Has my body changed even though the scale stays the same or goes up? Yes. That's the main reason I measure as well and take pictures because it changes makeup a lot. And so even when the scale doesn't go down, a lot of times I can see it in the mirror before the scale goes down. Like I was saying this week, I'm like looking at the scale going, because there was one point this last week that the scale read like 187. And I was like, no way. No way. I have lost weight. I can look in the mirror and I literally can see that I have more loose skin and I am fitting in my clothes better. And then it took a few days for the scale to catch up. And I don't even know for sure if it is fully caught up to where I actually am. So yeah, it does that a lot actually. And it's one way, measuring is a really good way to keep yourself in check when the scale goes up and down. And knowing that the scale goes up and down is a huge one. A lot of people give up right away because they have a big loss and then the scale goes up and they think, oh no, I'm doing something wrong. What do I have to change? You don't have to change anything. The only thing you have to do is wait it out. It eventually will catch up. I've learned that the hard way and I've just been plugging along. I just never stopped. And luckily, I at the beginning didn't really experience that so heavily as I do now. Maybe that was because I started out so big and I had a huge caloric deficit. But I did have a pattern. I don't remember exactly what the pattern was, but it seemed like it would be like I lose, and then hold for 2 weeks, and then lose, and then hold. Now I lose, gain, hold, lose, gain, hold. And it eventually just kind of, and it's a lot slower down. So, oh, I have never tried that. Sorry, Paula. I bought kohlrabi fries and have yet to find a good recipe. I've never tried it, so I can't tell you anything. Interesting. Is aching bones that feels like muscle pulls in my legs part of this keto diet? It's different than keto flu. I've had that. I wouldn't say so. Aching bones I have because I get cold. So, I mean, it technically could be part of that. Definitely, I'm sure you've checked your electrolytes, but I'd raise them if you're feeling any kind of weird stuff and just see if it goes away. So if you're already doing 5,000 milligrams of sodium, add another tablespoon of Sole water and go up to 6,400. Just try that for a week and see what happens. But no, not really. Like, it's more muscle aches, muscle cramping that comes along with keto flu usually. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I mean, everybody's different, so it could be, definitely. All right. Yeah, so your body does change even though the scale doesn't budge. Yep. It happens a lot. It's really a pain. All right, let's see. Hey, Bless Me, welcome. Hey, Sherry Bandy. Auntie M says, I used to run many years ago, and sometimes I'll dream of running again. I will run again someday. I love it. I love it. I've dreamed of dancing my whole dang life. I've always wanted to do it and always felt like I couldn't, so I get it. And I love that you said you will, because that means you've got a goal, right? It's awesome. Gloria S., good question. I'm always so surprised how many people do dance in your area. Is there a reason it's so strongly supported since I know most lessons charge? I'd like to say it's a Utah Mormon thing. I don't know. In Utah, people seem to be really artistic. Lots of us here are artists. Lots of us here are entrepreneurs. Lots of the moms are really active to try and use their talents to earn money. So I think a lot of it is because a lot of the kids who dance open studios because they want to be their own boss, because you can't make enough as a dance teacher working for other people. So we have a lot of dance studios and a lot of dance studio competition amongst studios because the price, is a war and people are always trying to undercut each other. The studio that we go to the most, our clogging studio, is the most competitive price-wise in the entire Utah. Like, it's the lowest that you can find. But we've also been there for 17 years and we're very loyal. I started there because it was a homeschool studio way back when my oldest was 6. He is now almost 23, turns 23 this week. How am I a mother of a 23-year-old? I do not know. But yeah, so we've been there a long time. And I just really think that the people here in Utah are blessed with art. So many of us are artists, and we do so many things with art. Me, I always wanted to dance, but physically felt unable to. And so when I was 32, I found photography. And now at 42, I found YouTube. And so, you know, we always are just looking for a creative outlet. And I really think that that's a lot to do with it. Plus, we like to keep our kids active, and that's an easy way to do it. It's a beautiful way to do it. We love watching our kids be beautiful and pretty, and dance is just a self-expression that's beautiful. And I think, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the women in my church love to embrace beautiful things, and dance is just one of those kind of things. But I could be wrong, and just could be in the water. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Thank you everyone for the compliments. Do I find that eating keto, I just kind of naturally eat less often and feel like moving more? Yeah, I definitely have more energy because my body, especially as you're fat adapted, at beginning, you might not feel the energy. At beginning, you can feel pretty worn down, especially if you're not keeping your electrolytes balanced. You can feel pretty low on keto at the beginning. But once you hit fat adaptation, the energy really comes into play. And once you get those electrolytes in control, the clarity of mind also comes into play, which makes you less, it makes my anxiety less. And so it makes me less afraid to try new things, and makes me really feel like more invincible, almost like when I was a teenager, which is weird. Like, not afraid of falling, not afraid of doing things. Like, cannot even tell you how many times I have fallen in the last couple of months, and I'm just like, whatever, and I get back up. So yeah, being fat adapted is huge for that. And you do start to want to eat less when you become fat adapted. So yeah, I think it's a natural progression. Like, when I started keto, I did 3 meals a day. And by the time I was 4 weeks in, I just went to 2. I eat the same amount of food though, so that is where I differ from other people out there. I don't skimp on the protein, and I won't skimp on the protein. And there have been times when I have force-fed myself yucky food that I did not want to eat, canned tuna, whatever, at midnight, because I didn't get all my protein in. And I feel like it's vital to keep my lean mass. And I feel like I'm proof that is true, because the first time I lost weight doing a keto diet, I wasn't keeping track of my protein, and I was just eating shakes and things like that my coach recommended. I didn't know it was a keto diet. He didn't explain about ketosis. And I have a picture of myself. Gosh, I put it in a video last year sometime, but I have a picture of myself at 267 pounds when I lost weight that first time. And then this time, when I was doing it with the higher protein version, I took another picture of myself in a similar outfit at 267 pounds, and I was markedly slimmer. I am now 179. Oh my gosh, but I've been in the 180s wearing a size medium top and a size 10 pants. Now the size 10 pants are fitting so well, I wonder if I could squeeze into an 8, though I'm not ready to go and do that quite yet. I'm still enjoying being a 10. So I feel like I feel like I have good muscle tone, and I feel like I look trimmer, and probably am trimmer for my weight than if I had not made sure I got my protein in. So a lot of people will say, don't eat if you're not hungry. Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but on keto, you're often not hungry. And honestly, our bodies are like, especially if we're food addicts, we don't know what we're doing. Our bodies don't know how to keep control. Macros are a way to keep control. I make sure I eat enough protein. I make sure I don't eat too much fat. I make sure my body's losing weight and my muscles being retained. It's a control thing. Will I always need the macros? Probably not. But will I always eat this protein level? Heck yes. Yep. I don't think I'm ever changing my protein level unless I get a DEXA scan, which I keep talking about doing, but can't find time in my life to do it, even though it's super cheap. I really need to make myself get that done. But I find out what my actual lean mass is. I might adjust it. But if it's lower, see, that's part of what's holding me back, I think, is because I don't want to eat lower protein. I like eating the amount of protein I eat. 120 grams of protein is very filling, and I like it. And sometimes I even go over that. And it would really suck if all of a sudden I had to eat 30 grams less. That would suck. So it's still working. I don't have any reason to change it at this point. All right. Oh, he's back. Gotta love it. Don't report him. I'm gonna see if I can click it. See? No, I really can't click it, you guys. I think there's something dumb with my... I don't know. Whatever. Just ignore. All right. Let's see. Any more questions? Muscle cramps can be because you're low on magnesium, but she was describing like bone aches. I don't know. Okay, that's a good question. Patty Montero, can you clarify something about the high-fat diet and why some people lose weight on it, and why when we do the high-fat, it's just for maintenance? I don't quite get it. Okay, that is a very, very, very good question. So how do people lose weight on the high-fat version of keto? First of all, they're eating less calories because they're eating less protein than me. Most of the people that are out there eating high-fat keto are eating between 60 and 90 grams of protein. I'm eating 120. So I get a lot of my calories from that, and I'm also getting a lot more proteins and a lot more amino acids, and my body is getting more food bulk because I'm eating higher protein. So I don't need to eat as many fat calories to keep my calories in check. Like they can eat a lot more fat for their calories than I do because I'm eating so much protein. Does that make sense? So protein, you can get more bang for your buck. High-fat keto will work to a degree, especially if you're still eating at a deficit. So if it's calories in, calories out. It still is. Calories in, calories out. If you're consuming so many amount of calories from fat, and you're expending more than what you're consuming, which most people are when they first start a high-fat way of doing keto, you will lose weight. So that is the honest truth right there. Eventually, though, most people will hit a stall with the high-fat version of keto and have to lower their calories, which also means they're lowering their protein to drastically low levels because they're trying to keep their calories in check and they're trying to keep their fat to protein ratio pretty. Okay? The thing is that Dr. Finney is not good at explaining, just so you know. I wish that Dr. Finney would let me make a video explaining it for his channel and for his people, because he does not explain it well. The way we're doing it is still a high-fat version of keto. The difference is that during fat loss mode, we keep our fats lower, forcing our body to burn the fat from our body instead. The more fat you put on your plate, the less fat you need to burn from your body. Does that make sense? So eventually, if you're eating the same amount of fat as you're burning just sitting here, you're not going to lose. Dave is proof of that. You know, like he lost 100 pounds when I did, and then he got lazy about tracking and hasn't lost hardly anything for a year and a half. Now he's back to tracking and it's going slowly, and he's not happy about that, but it's just the way it is. If you eat the same amount of calories as you burn, you don't lose weight. It's calories in, calories out. I think Allie McWowie had a really good video on that, but that's why we do the higher protein, because you're able to get enough food to feel satiated, enough proteins to build your muscle and keep it nice, and you can eat less fat a lot easier because you're eating more food bulk from your proteins. So that, I don't know if that makes sense. I did do a whole video on this recently. So if you want more information on it, there's a video we did, the ways we do keto, the different ways we do keto that I did with Keto Diamond and Keto Fat Girl No More. They talked about the high fat keto and how they do it and how they lose weight on it. And I talked about how it works and why I do it differently. So, oh man, there goes my voice. It's starting to die. Might have to be done soon. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Rocio, your son's 23 and your daughter turns 21. My second one turns 21 in September. So, oh my gosh. Crazy, right? It is crazy. Let's see. How tall am I? I am 5'7". 5'7", 179 pounds. 179 pounds. Do I think being on a daily diuretic would prevent me from dropping the water weight in the beginning? Yeah. Well, if you aren't already retaining water because you're on a water pill, then you're not going to have any water to dump. So yeah, don't stress over it. Like real accurate keto weight loss is maybe like 1 to 3 pounds a week if you are extremely obese and have a huge deficit. Like my first month, I lost 19, and then after that, I lost 15, 15, 15, 15, and then 12, 12, 12, 12. Once I hit 100 pounds lost, it went down to 8 pounds a month. Now, then it was down to like 2 to 4 pounds a month, but that was when I was doing maintenance calories. And now this last month, I'm not 100% sure because I had some water weight that I dropped again because I gained some in the holidays. I dropped, technically dropped 10 pounds. No. Yeah, 10 pounds in January, but some of that was water weight. I think it's more like 5. So honestly, like you just got to wait it out. You just got to be patient. It's painful, but yeah, you got to wait it out. Would I ever consider the carnivore diet for benefits of depression? I just don't buy it. Someone has suggested that for my depression in January. My depression in January was caused by the weather, and vitamin D fixed it. Carnivore, I don't really have a problem with it inherently because I don't really eat a lot of veggies anyways. I think carnivore is fine. I would still stick to the macros if I was doing it. I just don't see how it could help with depression. I don't buy it. I'm sorry, but no way just getting rid of my 1 cup of veggies a day is gonna change anything depression-wise. Keto itself basically fixed my depression. So I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. There's no real science. To me, I feel like carnivore makes keto look bad because it's a fad. Keto is not a fad. Keto is not a crash diet. Keto is a true way of life that's been proven for 20 plus years that it's sustainable. Keto is sustainable. Technically, carnivore is just keto. And eliminating that last cup of veggies that I've got hanging on, like, I just don't. Why? Like, what's the point? Other than making me sad because my food is even more boring? That's just crazy. I'm never going to do it because I just don't see it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. People have done it. I don't know, like Nicole Kingsbury Keto on Instagram. So Team Kingsbury Keto, if you want to check out hers. She's been doing carnivore for a while, and maybe I don't know if she's spoken to the depression part of it. She did it all through January, and so you may want to go check her out on Instagram and see how she did. I know a lot of people are jumping on the carnivore bandwagon just because it's YouTube and it's the new thing, and I refuse to do that. I'm not a trend follower. I am teaching this, and that's what I teach. I don't veer from it, and I'm not going to unless Dr. Finney says to. If Dr. Finney comes out and says carnivore diet's going to fix depression and here's why, I might believe it. It's probably about it right there. 8.4 pounds since 12/26 is awesome. Yeah, that's because you didn't have water to do. So you can just count on that being fat loss right there, CJ. That is awesome. 8.4 pounds? That's really, really good. I know that's like a month and a half, 2 months. No, a month and a half. That's hardly any time. That's amazing. I'd be like thrilled if I knew for sure I got 8 pounds of fat loss in the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks. That's awesome. That's really good progress. So yeah, don't let the water weight whoosh get you disappointed, and you will have more water weight whooshes because, so how it works is you have that initial water weight whoosh because you were hanging on to things because of inflammation. If you're already being treated for inflammation, you're not as likely to have as much water on your body to dump. So after that, as you lose fat, your fat cell begins to fill up with water to hold it open because your body believes it's going to be refilling with fat. It doesn't buy it that you're going to burn it and never burn it, never need that space again. So it fills it up with water and it keeps like that. In fact, you guys will think it's really weird, but especially if you're extremely obese and you lose a lot of weight, you'll all of a sudden start feeling little like bumps in you, like peas, like frozen peas. Oh my gosh, the first time I felt that, I freaked out, you guys. I freaked. I thought I had like cancer all through my body. No, it's just fat cells filled up with water, waiting for you to convince them that you're not going to refill. And once it gets to the point where it doesn't think it needs it, it dumps off all the water and you have a whoosh. And I think that's why I have the weird water weight gain cycle that I do, where I have 1 week where I put on a little water and then I hold it and then I drop it and I drop it and then I go lower. That second drop, I usually go lower than my previous weight was 4 weeks before. And that's been my cycle. And I really feel like it's because that's what my body is now comfortable doing. It's holding on to that water in the fat cells and then whooshing it back down. So yeah, just be patient, because I'm telling you, 8.4 pounds is awesome. I know it doesn't feel awesome if you have a lot of weight to lose. It feels overwhelming when you're at the beginning and you have a lot of weight to lose. It feels overwhelming even when you're losing 15 pounds a month. Still feels like the longest battle you'll ever face. And yet now on the other side of it, it feels like it went so quickly. It's just funny how your mind works that way. It's just a natural progression of losing weight. Like, it's like with anything you do. So you get super pumped up and excited about something and you're like, yes, I'm doing this January 1st. I'm doing it. We're doing this thing. It's going to be awesome. Usually you'll have a nice water weight whoosh at the beginning to get you all motivated and excited. And then by the time Super Bowl hits, you're like, I'm tired of losing weight. I'm tired of eating low calories. My body is starving. I need to have a carb up or whatever. And you either make it through that or you fall off the wagon and have to start over. But it's like that with anything in life. You know, like I'm getting excited about photography. I'm getting excited about YouTube. And then I get to a place where I'm like, YouTube makes me want to stab my eyes out. Right? I mean, like, there are days where I don't want to do YouTube. That is the truth. Do I keep going anyway? Yes, because I know from experience, the only way to succeed is to keep going. And same with YouTube. I want this channel to be successful, hence the talking about Patreon. So I just keep doing YouTube when I feel like crap. Like I had the flu last week and I still did YouTube, you guys, because it's like what I have to do. You have to push through. So the only way you're going to know is if you wait it out. And in 8 more weeks, if you've lost 8 more pounds, you're 8 pounds down from where you were before. So sometimes weight loss is fast and sometimes it's slow. Either way, it's still success. Either way, you're still moving in the right direction. And if you stop now, well, we all know where you'll be in 8 weeks, right? That's just the truth right there. All right. Bye, Paula. I'm sorry I missed you. Let's see. Bye, Jackie. Seems like you guys are already told her all of that. Hi, April Wooden. Welcome. Yeah, crazy weather over there in Georgia. That's awesome, though. Like, it feels almost like Utah. Why am I getting so many messages? I didn't turn my phone on vibrate today, or off vibrate today. There we go. Sorry, guys. Debbie Lyman's down to a 12-14 pants. Woohoo! Good job. Isn't that cool? I think that's the size of all sizes. The one I never thought I'd hit. And the one I was so excited to hit. I enjoyed it so much. And I think I enjoyed being a size 12 even more than being a size 10. Because it was like the big size that I was never going to hit. And then I hit it. And now I'm just kind of like, oh, cool. I can do it. But yeah. Oh, bulging veins in your legs. Oh, that's no fun. It's probably varicose veins. Maybe they were always there and you just didn't see them before. That sucks. My dad had that. He had to have them stripped. Gina says, my non-scale victory is not hanging over the edges of the chair in the doctor's office. Yes. Oh, Mine was when I went to Kingsbury Hall with my daughter for her competition a couple weeks ago, and realized that the last time I sat in the Kingsbury Hall seats, I was crying because I was hurting so bad, because it felt like steely knives were stabbing me in both hips the entire time I was watching the show. And now I had 2 inches on each side of me. I couldn't even touch the sides. That was incredible. Totally amazing non-scale victory. Let's see. Okay, Jennifer Costa says, I always get confused when measuring food for macros. Measure the meat before or after cooking? Before. Always before, except for bacon. Most bacon packages, the nutrition information is for cooked, because you cook a lot of the fat out of it, and then if you weigh it after, it gives you a more accurate representation of how much fat and protein you've got on your plate. So, except